Welcome back!
At all.
What accent is that?
I don't have any idea.
Any idea?
Y'all are lucky I'm here.
Yeah, we really truly are. We're alive. Hello, we're here.
Hi everyone. Yeah, sorry we didn't do an episode last week. There's been a lot of shit going on in my life that's been very negative, and we're not really going to go into it. But we'll say we still wanted to do the podcast, and unfortunately we're going to have to make it a little shorter than normal. We're only going to be covering NXT and NXT UK for the next couple weeks, and any pay-per-views. Excuse me.
You burped.
Because I am, yes, because I am not I'm not able to watch the other wrestling right now.
Yeah, but you can watch it on your own, and then let us know what happens, because we're not watching it.
Yeah, we may look at some YouTube, highlights or whatever, but, you know.
YouTube and the Twitter?
Yeah, we should talk, though, about some of the other things that have happened before we go into last week's NXT UK and NXT.
Absolutely.
So, for one, we have Zelina Vega return to SmackDown.
Yay! I remember I saw that on Twitter and got so excited, and then I think it was 5 seconds later you sent me the news.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really interesting about that is, do you know who showed up on AEW last night?
No, I don't.
Aleister Black.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
You know, well, what it turns out is that they actually screwed up his contract, and he was supposed to have the 90-day non-compete, but it was only a 30-day. So he was able to start working. Yeah, after being fired from the WWE so quickly, he was able to show up in AEW last night.
Yeah, they're probably kicking themselves so hard.
I imagine someone got fired for that.
Oh, 100%.
Especially the fact that he's one of those guys that people like Triple H were really angry that got fired.
Right.
I mean, think of how much money they put into all those vignettes to to promote him and
they were stunning.
Forward. Yeah. And then they fire him, because Nick Khan has a weird boner for firing people. Unfortunately,
fuck you, Boner Khan.
Like Everrise, who let's pour one out in our coffee cups for right now.
Should I pour some? I'm gonna pour water on myself.
Because
I did it.
There you go. Do you want to take a swing at them?
I do want to take a swing at them,
but. Yeah, so he showed up last night. He's called Malachi Black. He attacked Cody Rhodes. Here's the thing that I do love that he's doing that you never, ever see.
What?
So he is wearing a fake contact in one of his eyes.
Nice.
And do you know why he's doing that?
Why,
Because
Charles?
on Raw, I think maybe last year sometime, he got attacked and they injured his eye.
Oh, no way.
I love that he's carrying on a WWE storyline to give his character that much consistency and continuity.
I love that. And of course, so I guess they can use the last name Black, but couldn't use Aleister.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Black is, a very generic...
It's a generic name, enough.
Yeah, and speaking of AEW, so Chris Jericho... remember his soft little trust fall onto the...
His trust fall into the sawdust?
Yes, and onto those big fluffy mattresses?
Yes.
So he's been a little bitch about it, and...
he's still talking about it? We're over it, Jericho.
Oh, no, he's even worse. He actually went on about how, two poorly trained chicks in the WWE are talking shit about it, and he's talking about Shotzi and Shayna Baszler.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he said, and you know what? In 6 months, they'll probably be asking us for a job, and I'll remember them.
Don't you fucking talk shit about my girls, Chris Jericho.
It's like, you're a 50-year-old fucking man, Chris Jericho.
You're an asshole.
Get the fuck over it. The girls made fun of me. Really,
they made fun of me. Yeah, well, you were a little bitch. That's why they're making fun of you.
Fucking seriously. And, and he's like, well, no one, it was really scary and I hurt my hair, because I put my arm out. Well, fuck you. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho remembers, I guess, but,
Chris Jericho remembers.
That's
like a movie I'd never pay to go see.
Yeah, so, Chris Jericho is all like, oh, I'm going to make sure Shotzi and Shayna can never get an AEW if they get fired by the WWE.
They're not gonna.
You know, I hope not. I hope not. Who knows with fucking Nick Khan and his weird firing sprees.
It's horrifying. Yeah, I said that, and then I was thinking, I was like, Ruby Riot's gone.
Yeah.
You know?
At the same time, they've been doing, because apparently Vince wants to replenish the Raw and SmackDown rosters because he's not happy with them. So he's been spending a lot of time, like they've brought up Shotzi and Scarlett, and having them like wrestle dark matches so that like Vince can see what they're like. They're bringing up Toni Storm this Friday, for the final Thunderdome to see how she wrestles.
Who is she? Is that going to be on TV?
No, this is literally just so Vince can see what they're like, because Vince apparently doesn't watch NXT. So
what an asshole.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I really hope that they don't ruin them. I could totally see how Toni Storm and Shotzi could really do well on the main roster, but only if they're treated well.
Only if they're treated well.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, both of them have to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree.
Yeah, because speaking of which, there was also that writer for Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Let me. People are going to hear some typing now because I forgot to bring it up.
Type and type.
Oh, it helps if you plug it in the keyboard too. That's it. That's my advice for all of you out there listening.
Plug in your keyboards.
Yes, plug in your keyboard, and
unless you're fancy like me and it's a wireless one.
Yeah. Let's see. So her name was
You talk as if she's dead.
well, I mean, Kenise Mobley. Kenise Mobley, she was hired by the WWE like a week and then fired a week or two later. She went
I love this story.
She went on a podcast called Asian Not Asian. And which I guess is kind of our show. Because yeah, really it is if you really want to get down to it.
Yes.
And she talks about how she was hired by the WWE, and she says, it was a surprise to me. I didn't have to know anything about wrestling, but I have a background in film production and comedy writing. They were like, perfect, come on in. And she's like, I have to write things between wrestling matches. Some of the commentary that happens, we come up with catchphrases and hand signals. I don't know enough about it. I haven't even started yet. I don't know enough about it. If they hear this, I hope they don't revoke my offer. I truly know next to nothing about it. Why are you... Oh, man. So... I'm on the Monday Night Raw team, so there's Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and the people I know that are on it are Bobby. His name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley.
No.
And I really should know that. He's like this giant black guy, and he and the people who are part of his crew, I know they call, or at least that as of last year, they called themselves the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business, they wear suits and are like, we're cool and everything.
I want to punch her so hard.
Like...
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so bad.
Yeah. And she talked about how she went on a date and the guy was like, don't you feel you're like lowering your dignity by writing for the WWE? And she went on about how, no, I've wanted to be a writer my whole life and they pay me 3 times what the nonprofit I work for pays.
Not anymore, they don't.
Nope. So they fired her after this, as they should have, and they honestly should have never hired her. Because you know what? If you want to get good writing, like I don't understand why you wouldn't want people who know the product. If I was going to start hiring people to work for us, you're damn right they have to know who Julie is. They have to have seen Teresa and Allison. They have, like, because I don't want people writing as a producer. I don't want people who don't know like what they're writing about.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you, speaking of Julie, I got, like, a little side note. Dan pointed out yesterday we were at a random-ass theme park in the middle of Westchester, and there were, like, all these little teenage girls, like, giggling, like, knowing who Julie was, and they were too afraid to talk to me.
Oh, well, that's great.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah. So,
anyway, yes.
But, the thing is, as a writer, your job is to know, like, if I got hired on American Horror Story tomorrow, Like, okay, there's 2 seasons I haven't watched. I'd be watching them immediately as soon as I got the job. I'd be taking notes.
You know your product.
Yeah, I'd be knowing who everyone played in the previous seasons and how some of the seasons are connected to each other and who the various Evan Peters and Sarah Paulsons were and, like all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't be going on a podcast and like, yeah, there's 2 seasons of American Horror Story I haven't seen. I probably should watch them sometime.
I know that Jessica Lange's in that show sometimes, right? Like,
like Jesus fucking Christ, people.
Yeah. Know your shit. Do better.
But yeah, so just a little note about that. And all, like, I really feel like, fine, you want writers on the show, that's great. But they need to be people who know the product. You can't just be hiring people off the street. Maybe that's why Raw's writing team sucks so much.
And that's why you told me like a long time ago when I was like applying to write for them. They were like, they won't hire you because you watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And this is just a prime example on how that whole idea doesn't work, WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if you want to hire writers, fine, but start hiring writers. Hire writers.
Yes.
So, anyway, peoples, let's go from the outhouse to the penthouse. And
that was horrible.
Well, I am the Segway King. I have the little wheelchair with the crown on it, so...
It's not a wheelchair, it's a Segway. It's not a wheelchair.
It is a wheelchair. It's like a wheelchair car.
Yes.
So,
like a motorized wheelchair?
Yes, and it has a crown on it, so I am the Segway King.
Yes. Happy Disability Awareness Month, also, everyone.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
You'd think as someone who's disabled, I would be aware of it. Ba-dum-ba! Anyway, so I am actually disabled, so I can make that joke. I am deaf in this ear, or hearing disabled, as the kids say.
The hip, cool kids.
Yes, the hip, cool kids talking about their disabilities are talking about
you
how
keep
I'm
freezing, but we have clean audio.
Yes.
So that's good.
But yeah, so let's go to NXT UK. And there was a lot of women's wrestling on this from all those weeks where we're complaining that there's no women's wrestling.
They listen to us. They won't hire us, but they listen to us.
Yes. Well, I mean, do you want to? If we were to work at NXT UK, I think there's a prerequisite that neither you nor I are.
I am a French citizen. Okay.
That's not the UK.
I know.
Are you only going to write for Amal?
Yes. Just going to write a Amal storyline. That's it.
So, let's talk about Amelia McKenzie versus Isla Dawn.
Oh, we're going to NXT UK. Let's do that. Yeah.
And speaking of people who we complained about who have really improved. Remember when we used to complain that Isla Dawn had the whole witch gimmick going on and there was nothing witchy about her wrestling?
She was great in this and terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love how they're totally incorporated it into her ring work.
Yeah, they did. It was awesome. Even Dan, who's never seen her before, went, well, fuck, she's scary. I was like, exactly. Exactly. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God.
That also reminds me, one of the people who was fired was Killian Dane, Nikki Cross's husband, who,
oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, who also trained Isla Dawn, was one of the people who was fired. And he was also partly responsible for Nikki Cross's new superhero gimmick. Which is, because apparently, like, everyone saw it, including me, and was like, this is awful. What the hell are they doing to Nikki? And apparently it's something Nikki Cross wanted to do. It was apparently her idea.
It was her idea, and her husband helped her get it on television.
Yeah, her husband helped, like, design her outfit and everything.
It's kind of cute, then.
Yeah.
I mean, if she wanted to do it, again, the age-old dilemma, I feel like we talk about every episode, like, oh, it sucks, but she's on TV! It makes me feel better knowing that it was her idea.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is apparently they're changing her name to Nikki Ash, which stands for Almost a Superhero.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll take it.
Well, the reason why they're changing why they're changing it too, by the way, is apparently because they can't have two people who aren't related with the same last name. And they're really looking at bringing Karrion Kross up to the main roster.
Aren't they spelled differently?
Yes, but it's still pronounced the same way.
Just make one Kross.
What's really, it's funny. Like I would think actually her old name might work. When on the Indies she was Nikki Storm.
Oh, I like that too, but you can't do that if you bring Tony up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. She can't be Tony Storm. She can't be Tony Storm's sister. Because then I would just make those comments about them being sisters.
Yep, that's and then the podcast would be ruined forever.
Yes. So, talk about this.
Amelia McKenzie's back, so that's cool. Because didn't she just, like, disappear, right?
Not really. I mean, she
wasn't in that, like, 5-person thing.
She was. She was the first one eliminated.
Oh, yeah, right. She was the one that we thought was going to win it.
Yeah. You thought she was going to win it, and I was like, she probably will.
Yeah, but yeah, so I was excited to see her, and she was like really, she came out really strong. But I love that move where she got like Isla like on the ground, like on wow, we haven't talked about this in 2 weeks, so I'm like, what is this term? Where she got like Isla on the mat, and Isla's just smiling. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
That one when she's like in that crouching position. I was like, oh wait, it's good. She's like figuring herself out. Like she's got it now.
Yeah.
Isla Dawn. Yeah, which is really great. Amelia had a lot of really great drop kicks, and then there was that double drop kick, and I liked how Isla just pulled her down by her hair. Mm-hmm. It was fucked up. Amelia does a lot of flips. She just flips a lot.
Yes, she does.
And I was like, she's flipping. Oh wait, she's flipping again.
Yeah.
Nope, she's still flipping.
Yeah, there was that one time where Mackenzie went on the top rope, did a flip over, and then started charging at Isla, and Isla just was like, nope.
That was my favorite part. Yeah. That was, like, my second favorite part. But, like, I love that she was like, not today, and just kicked her down.
Just kicked her down.
I get where that's the whole point is, like, nay. It's like she's still in training, like, learning from someone. Like, that's not how you do this.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved it. Amelia had a great spear. I hate how they quoted Macbeth. Made me really angry. The commentators were like, by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. And I'm like, don't do that. I was real mad. Don't do that.
I guess it could work with Isla Dawn, though.
I just don't want it in wrestling. There's two different parts of my life that I want to keep separate. Okay?
Well, see, now we know what gimmick I'm going to give you. If you ever.
Well, if that was, if it's my gimmick, it's fine.
As a wrestler.
Why Ophelia? She's a pussy. I want to be Tamara, Queen of the Goths. That's me.
That wouldn't work as that. I don't know. That's too obvious. That's why it's Ophelia, because
Yes, because I'm a dainty little flower who loves rivers.
Yes,
that's it.
And I'll change my name to Aaron, and it'll be great.
Yeah, okay, glad we got this figured out. So then Isla, like, puts a spell on her face.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? That was crazy. How her eyes, like, rolled in the back of her head. That was really fun.
She starts communing with the spirits and performing some sort of ritual over Mackenzie.
It was like, is she turned on by this? Because I think she is.
Yeah. And then Mackenzie turns it into a submission, but Isla reverses it. There's a suplex by Amelia, but then a double knee kick to Isla's head for the win. And Isla did not seem upset she lost.
No, it's weird to see something about like where magic is incorporated or like spirits or something and have them not win.
Yeah.
So she's still mastering her craft.
Yeah.
But now on the spiritual side.
But yeah, I loved it though, because it looked as though like she had learned something from the spirits as she had lost.
Right.
Like she had gained more than she actually lost, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm really, number one, Isla really impressed me in that tournament wrestling-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I really like what she's doing gimmick-wise right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I hope Isla really shines in NXT UK for, the coming future.
For the coming future.
The coming future.
Yes.
In the year 2000. Anyway, so
precisely.
Yeah, which is still weird how that still sounds like the future.
Oh my god, stop it. No, 1990 was like 10 years ago. It's fine.
So anyway, we now go to the new NXT UK Women's Champion, Meiko Satomura.
Who looks amazing in this, like, deep red pantsuit blazer combo with the stilettos. That's a woman I never expected to see in stilettos, and it was amazing. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, she has ended Kaylee Ray's 649-day title reign.
That's such a long amount of, like, the pressure that lives in your body. That amount of time, I feel like, just take it.
And so she is now NXT UK Women's Champion. It makes her very happy. And NXT UK is now her home. And speaking of home, we get a return from someone you and I haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, where did she go? So the Nina Samuel show is back in action. The curtain is up and the applause are raucous. I was so happy
to see her back.
It was just the randomest person. I forget about her. That's bad. And I think it's just like a jealous thing because, like, we can't actually work like that as actors or we just, like, won't get hired ever.
Yeah. I was glad to see her. I truly agree that NXT does need more Nina. And Meiko needs more Nina.
Yeah, I love that. She says that I like how she, like, actually says bravo, but it did bother me because if it's a woman, it's brava. Nina Samuel should know that. So I was like, no, who wrote that? Who wrote that? Fire them too. So, in order to live up to Kaylee Ray's title reign, you need a true megastar as the first challenger so that she can put Meiko Satomura on the map. Which I thought it was hilarious. So, Amal comes out, who I'm now writing for, and attacks her from behind. I'm not writing for Amal.
No one needs more Nina. What the world needs is hope.
Yeah, I love how she's just like, no one needs that. And I'm like, yes, Amal. It makes me. I just love. Also, you could see Meiko just smiling too, which I loved. And she's sick of seeing the same girls every week, and she's not here to congratulate Meiko, but to be your next challenger. And I don't care if you're the final boss, because I'm not here to play games. You know.
And Meiko hits her and says, "Enough talk. You get a match." Yeah, you get your match.
You get your. Yeah, I love that, and she like says it with pride too,
yes.
Like, yeah, fine, you can have your fucking match.
Yes. So I'm excited for that.
Yes. When is that? I don't know.
Eventually.
Eventually. Great.
Could be today for all we know. I don't know.
Yes. There's always tomorrow.
And then we get a preview for Blair Davenport.
Who looks really fucking cool, by the way.
Yeah, previously Bea Priestley, the first woman, actually the first anyone, male, woman, child, I can say child because they're fucking -1 in AEW, the first person from AEW to leave AEW for WWE. Yeah, she's wrestled all over the world, sacrificed everything to get where I am. I've given up friends. I've given up family. Do you really think I wouldn't have ended up in the greatest women's division on earth? Yeah, Blair Davenport has arrived.
Yeah, I love her, like, punk skunk hair. It's amazing. Yeah. She looks great.
Yeah, she had a lot of matches with Britt Baker when she first got to AEW.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which, funny and amusingly enough, Britt Baker was the face in them.
Ew.
Yeah, Britt Baker.
It's so weird to think about her as a face.
Britt Baker as a face is boring as all fuck.
Yeah, I bet.
She's great as a heel and just boring and generic and awful as a face.
You tell her.
Yeah. Never be a face again.
You hear that? Because the future is B.
Exactly. She became a heel, and her first heelish action was to rip us off. So, you know. And then we have, we're still, it's so weird to talk about this much NXT UK.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It is very weird. So we have Mila Schmidt versus Ava Valkyrie.
Yep.
Yeah, Schmidt.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. This opened with rest holds, but not in a boring, like, Rachel Erling way.
Yeah.
Like, this is how rest holds should be done. Like,
yeah.
If you're gonna have them done, and it wasn't like a full 5 minutes of the match. It was like the first 2 minutes they were doing rest holds, but they were interesting and they were counters into them. It wasn't like I said, like when I see Rachel Erligan, she just puts someone in a move and then sits for 4 minutes.
Just doop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like fine. They both did good work. I don't know this Mila Smith person, but the commentators love her apparently.
Well, the thing I found interesting about her is number one, how much bigger than Aoife she is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at a certain point, like half of Aoife's body was this girl's legs.
Yeah.
You know. But the other thing I noticed about her is that her moves are not flashy, they're not really special, but they're super precise and crisp.
Mm-hmm. You said crisp, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's someone
like
it's someone who knows what they're doing, but it's not like fancy.
Yeah, I like the belly to belly, the suplexes. It was kind of cool where they like almost pinned each other while they were in bridges. Like that was like, yeah, it was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Ginny came out and she just watches on Aoife does a spinning heel kick, and then she's on the ropes and she looks at Ginny before she says the pity patia and pins her to win. I just love that.
Yeah, I'm totally here for an Aoife versus Ginny feud.
Oh, 100%. It's obviously starting.
Yeah. I'm all here for that.
Here for it. Loving it.
Yes. And speaking of being here, we're going from the UK to America, where we are.
You were just paused like this, like you were doing, like you were a mime. It was amazing.
And so that's where we're going to NXT down in Florida.
Down to Florida with lots of fun things that are happening. So this diamond mine is a thing. That's cool.
Well, it would have been cooler if they hadn't fired the female member, so we'd have something to talk about with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. They fired Marina Shafir because I guess Nick Khan is, I don't know. I guess he hadn't fired 50 people that day yet.
He's a Khan boner killer. That's what he is.
Yeah. So let's go right to the women's, the match that opens it. Of Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai and Zoe Stark, and the winner gets to fight The Way. Yeah,
so this is just like amazing. Like I loved this match so much. I think it was really smart for them to start off with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just. I was entertained. There were points where, like, so much was going on that I couldn't take notes because I was just, like, I'd go back and rewind it, and then I'd miss something and have to go back again, and I was like, fuck it, this was really cool. Like, Raquel starts out really strong, just, like, attacking everyone.
Well, you know what I like about this? Because, you know, in the main roster, they have this weird thing where they only have two men or women in the ring at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tag to anybody, and I've always hated that. I like that this was one member of each team at all times.
Yes, exactly. It must have been so fun to, like, rehearse this, I say with air quotes, like, with all of them. Like, I just imagine all of them just, like, so excited, like, and then we're gonna do this, and wait, you're in the ring too? Like, I just,
yeah,
it makes wrestling exciting.
So many unique little combinations and stuff that happened in this.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I really like how Raquel starts out so strong, and I love Io on her back, and Ember somehow takes out Io and Raquel, and just, God. And then Io did a drop kick, and I wrote, this is really fast. And I wrote like, this RLLLY fast. Like, all in one word.
Yes. Yeah.
Trying to keep up with it.
Like,
I write something about Raw. I wrote something about Raw. Why did I do that?
I don't know. What'd you write?
I said W Raw. Maybe I was just trying to spell things.
Yeah, but I love the that Ember did a flip over Io into a clothesline on Raquel.
Yes,
I loved that so much.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and
that was amazing.
Like, the return to NXT did so much for Ember.
It really did.
Yeah,
she deserved it.
Yeah, and then we're on the outside where Dakota and Raquel team up on Zoe, and Io does a moonsault on them, and then Shotzi does a dive through Ember's legs, and then Ember does a cannonball, and then Zoe's in the ring, and she does a springboard splash from the top.
Yeah, and I'm just like, they all just, like, you know, It shows their quad strength, where they gotta, like, fall down and get back up over and over and over again with these 3 fucking women, like, leaping up.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Then we come back from commercial. Raquel's just flattening everybody.
Yeah.
Dashing Shotzi into the corner, knocking over Io. She has Shotzi on her hips, and then Io runs at her and just kicks Io down before throwing Shotzi.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Like, what the fuck? I think I have, like, 5 pages of notes for this.
Yeah, just so much crazy shit happened into it.
It was all insane, and I love, like Dakota getting out of, like, the crossface from Io, just, like, things that, like, you don't expect to, like, see. I don't know. I was not expecting the outcome of this.
No.
At all. No.
I was not expecting Io and Zoe Stark to win.
No, not at all. Not at all. I loved Shotzi's senton off the top and then into Zoe, and it hurt, I don't know. I like some of my notes just don't even fucking make sense. I think I was just like how fast it was and also how excited I was.
Well, there's that one part where, Io and Zoe, Raquel, we had all like the women in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like they were going to do a Tower of Doom spot, and then Raquel just breaks it up and throws everybody. Yeah. And does this insane powerbomb to Shotzi. But then Io and Zoe kick her in the knees. And then Dakota does that crazy Finn Balor double stomp to Shotzi. And it was just insane, like the stuff happening in this. I was so excited by like so many of the things in this.
Me too. It was definitely my favorite match of the week, so you don't even have to think about it. But loved it. Here for it. I'm just like, the rest of it, I'm just like, yeah. I wish everything could be as good as this.
Yeah.
That's really what I wish.
Yeah, so now we get Scarlett and Karrion Kross are entering the building, and Johnny Gargano attacks, but security pulls him away. And Kross didn't seem to have been really hurt, but he sure did seem angry.
He's such an angry man, and I'm so attracted to it. No,
yeah.
I'm not. But I mean, just like Charlotte, Charlotte. Wow, that's the biggest faux pas I've ever said. I'm sorry, Scarlett. I didn't mean it. I swear I didn't. Yeah, I like this whole Johnny Karrion thing. It's fun.
It's really interesting to see how popular like fighting Karrion Kross has made Johnny Gargano again.
Yeah.
Like, he's like their top face all of a sudden again.
And it's so funny to think of him as a face.
Well, that's because you haven't seen, like, the years when he was the most popular person in all of NXT. Right. Like, there was a time where, when his partner, Tommaso Ciampa, turned on him, the audience, like, the next week when Tommaso came out, the audience just chanted, "Fuck you, Ciampa."
Wow.
Yeah, and like wouldn't let him speak for like 3 minutes and just booed him every time he'd put his mouth to the microphone.
Wow.
Yeah, they chanted "shut the fuck up." Like they went like crazy with it.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Johnny, look at what you do to people.
So I just want to briefly mention the NXT Breakout Tournament, which is where they get 8 of their newer guys to wrestle. And in 2019, that had Cameron Grimes and Bronson Reed and Swerve and Dexter Lumis, and Boa was in it too. So it's usually a good jumping point for a lot of the dudes in there. And I just keep thinking, I would love to see a women's version of that.
I didn't realize there wasn't a women's version. That's really disappointing.
Yeah, I would really like to see a women's version of it. I tweeted about it earlier today, and I think we should get that going. So I think everyone needs to hashtag NXT Women's Breakout and kind of get that idea in people's heads. Yeah. Because they have enough women that they could very easily do that. Yeah. You know, with the women they haven't put on TV yet. So I would love to see that.
Me too.
You know.
Very much.
So Bronson Reed comes out. He talks for a little bit, and I don't really care. But Hit Row comes out.
Hit Row, yes, the best.
And I love that Swerve says, out of everybody in the old tournament, how did Bronson Reed end up with a title?
And that's the question that I asked myself as well.
Yeah, so he challenges them for a title shot later on in the evening.
Yes.
Now, Karrion Kross and Scarlett come out.
They do, and he's just a very angry boy. That's what I wrote. I wrote, he angry boy. That's
Yeah.
She looks great. I mean, that's just like, that's a given every time we see her. And he yells for Johnny to come out. And he said, touche, last week got him, this week you got me. And he said that he's willing to die by the sword he lives by and wants to know if Johnny's willing to do the same. So he calls for him to come out and says, I dare you to walk out in this ring and see how well you fare. And it's just, I don't know. I got like really excited about this. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but I got excited about it. And he gets, so what happened? Who's jumped from behind? Oh, that did happen. So he was going to beat him at his own game. And basically, so I love Johnny saying, I don't have a sword, but I have actual talent.
Yeah.
That was, and I wrote Scarlett's so hot. That was my note.
Yeah. Everybody knows you're bigger than me, but I'm smarter than you. And then Austin Theory attacks Cross from behind.
Yeah, that was perfect.
But Cross is just strong enough to fight them both off, and he's smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling the whole time. I really enjoyed watching Karrion in like the couple of times that we saw them in this episode. Like just them smiling is amazing.
Him grabbing Johnny Gargano by the throat and just slamming him repeatedly into the fucking like chain link. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was dope. I loved it.
He picks up the stairs, but security pull it away. And when security are holding back Karrion Kross, Johnny has a super kick to Karrion Kross's face.
That was amazing too. Like, I was like, holy fuck, how did he do, like, just like, missed all the security guards, just got him square in the face. It was so perfect.
Yeah. And then we get another Karrion Kross Samoa Joe stare down.
Yeah.
Which I really loved.
Well, he's gonna get provoked, Samoa Joe.
Yeah, and I love Scarlett saying they're gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So meanwhile, we see a phone battery, and that's at 60%. Ends at 61. Mm-hmm. So we then see the Way escape.
I thought that was all like a commercial for something. I was like, what is this?
Oh, yeah, no, that's someone returning.
Yes, I figured.
Yeah.
I figured.
And it goes to 100% on this week's episode. Yeah, so someone is back. So we see the Way escape, and the fact that we're covering it means that it's a woman. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, it's one of the ladies.
Ooh, the ladies.
Yes, the ladies. So we get a Zoe Stark and Io Shirai interview. Mm-hmm. And the Way, we do. The other half of the Way, the heel half of the Way, come out.
Yeah, it's so crazy that the women are I mean, like, I love that they're doing that. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
They're just like, congratulations, but you have to face us, and we're a real team, we're a family. You guys aren't even friends. And I love it. Indy said it perfectly. I can't believe how much we love Indy Hartwell. I can't.
Yeah.
But especially Indy. And Zoe says mutual respect. You don't need friends or family. It's not going to stop them. And I love Candace saying, "Oh, it's so cute." And then she says that when we beat you, you should watch your back, Zoe, because Io's a sore loser. And I'm like, brum, brum, brum.
Yeah,
and
because before you started watching, that's Io turned heel by attacking Candace after they lost.
That's amazing.
So I love that she's referencing that.
That's amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah.
So Io says, Candace, you'll never beat me, or you never have beaten me, and next week we'll be champions. And Zoe says, we got this. And I'm like, I actually really like them together, Zoe and Io.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we have Tian Sha, and anyone who offends Tian Sha will eventually be punished, no matter who they are. There is no way out of this. And Mercedes Martinez, this is the path of no return.
Yes. So we get this mixed tag team action, which is very exciting.
Mm-hmm. And before that, we also had the battery going up to 71%. And then everyone in Hit Row's psyching up Swerve.
Yeah, B-Fab says, like, it's your time. They're pumping him up, and I'm like, wait, I love them. I can't believe I love them so much. I was just complaining about them, like, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, so, Bronson Reed, tonight you'll find out why Swerve is just different. And, yeah really, I was really looking forward to that. I enjoyed that match, but we'll get there.
Yeah, so now we have Tian Sha of Xia Li and Boa versus Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez.
It was so cool to see Boa come down the ramp with Xia.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved that.
I didn't realize how much bigger he is than everyone else.
Yeah, he's a gigantic man.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love it. I'm here for it. And their pose together in the ring was really cute.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And Xia with that, like, pole.
That was a gigantic... That pole was, like, bigger than Boa.
Yeah.
Oh, it's raining. Fun. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, it's raining here, too.
Fun.
Here comes the rain again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
I don't know the other words. Anyway.
I don't either.
There was one point where Jake Atlas just flew over Boa for a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, he got so high up in the air, it was ridiculous.
I don't know how he managed to do that.
Yeah.
I don't.
So, Xia Li gets tagged in. She kicks Mercedes right in the face. A really rough backdrop by Mercedes. We come back from commercial. Boa's beating up Jake Atlas. Atlas throws Boa over the top and tags in Mercedes. And Xia climbs up Mercedes, but puts her in the top rope. Superplex by Mercedes. That's more double underhook superplex.
Mm-hmm.
And Boa and Mercedes start getting into it. I loved that the men and women interacted in this a bit.
Yeah, it was cool, like, seeing Mercedes help Jake, like, take Boa down.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I love that. And then I love Mercedes and Mei Ying just, like, having a face-off. Like, I love this so much, and I'm like, just have a match, please.
Yeah, so Mercedes starts challenging her. Xia Li attacks from behind. There's a suplex by Xia. And then there's that crazy stiff kick by Xia to Mercedes.
Yes.
Now, that was serious, because Mercedes actually was rushed to the hospital after this match. That ref stoppage was real. Like, she apparently got a serious concussion from that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Xia when they showed it in slow motion, she kicked her right behind the ear.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, like, did you see
I was like, why did they stop the match? Why?
Yeah, did you see how when Mercedes went down, she didn't even try to protect herself. She just went straight down and hit head first into the mat. And then when they were doing, if you noticed, all her limbs stiffened up when they were trying to do the pin. And that's a sign of a concussion.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And if you also
she'll be out for a while.
Yeah, if you look closely, you can see Xia even asking her if she's okay. And we're back. All right, so we have William Regal talking about next week's show, and then Saray comes over, and Saray is the most polite person, like, ever.
She's so cute.
Yeah, she's just like, can I please have a match with Toni Storm? And,
thank you. Really, yeah, please and thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're adorable.
Yeah,
so cute.
Meanwhile, the battery is now at 81%.
Ja.
So, now we get Karrion Kross and Scarlett heading for their car, and the Way attack, and Johnny is slamming the door on Kross.
Yeah, he's slamming the door on his butt.
And then Kross does not go down.
No, of course he doesn't. I love Johnny being like, any place, anytime, anywhere. You are not on my level.
Yeah, and then Karrion Kross, when he's beat it, say something funny, Johnny. Come on, say something funny.
Yeah, he's got him in a sleeper, say something funny, and he's like passing out. Yeah. And throws Austin into like the garage gate. And this is when I was like, holy shit, they smile so wide.
Yeah.
As they got back into their car.
Well, Scarlett's really suggesting they run Johnny over.
Well, yeah, and I was surprised that they didn't like have like a stunt person in or like a fake human, whatever.
They wouldn't have used a stunt person.
Yeah, of course.
This is an AEW. So,
Yes, but there's Samoa Joe to the rescue.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine Samoa Joe in, like, a cape.
Yeah. Wow, that's a disturbing image.
But not all heroes wear capes.
Yes. Now we go finally to Bronson Reed versus Swerve. And Swerve comes out with everybody.
And it makes me so happy. And B-Fab looks so amazing. Just like, they're like fucking pink giant boots and the little chopped off shorts. And I'm like, I'm attracted to you.
So towards the end of the match, which, I'm not a big Bronson Reed fan, but Swerve did really well. So B-Fab and Ashante are now distracting the ref. Top Dollar runs at Reed, but Reed dodges and Fucking Top Dollar just goes through the fucking plexiglass.
I know, that was insane that he broke the fucking plexiglass.
Well, I love it. Like, can you imagine how much pressure he would have hit fucking Reed with?
Yeah. That was crazy. I was like, holy shit, did that actually just happen?
Yeah, so Reed comes
nice.
back in, Swerve gets him and wins. We have a new champ that I can actually look at now. And
I'm so excited for Swerve.
Reed can go to Raw now where I don't ever have to see him again.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, him and Karrion Kross are the men that they're looking at bringing up to Raw or SmackDown.
Oh.
So I could imagine Reed on
yeah,
Raw.
I love. Yeah. That'll be fine. I love him so much. I love him so much. Well, if they bring up Karrion Kross, does that mean Scarlett goes up too?
Well, they did have Scarlett doing a test match, yeah.
Okay. I hope so.
They had her wrestling Shotzi to see how, the two of them would work on the main roster.
I mean, that'd be great. I just, I got titillated thinking about it. I was excited.
I could imagine. I imagine Scarlett would be wrestling more if she's on the main roster. Yes. I just hope they don't break them up, because that would be my big problem, because they have done that before.
Yeah, I don't like that. They're perfect together.
Yeah, they have definitely broken up people who came up to NXT together. Came up through NXT. But I think their chemistry is so good it'd be stupid to break them up.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that was NXT. That was last week's NXT.
All right, because the future is BTB.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, so shorter episode than usual, guys, but we'll be back up and running as normal eventually, and you can...
Eventually, yeah. So, in the meantime, Chelsea, so what was your match of the week?
It was definitely that three-way fucking thing for the thingy at the thing.
So, Shotzi
Ember and Shotzi and Rack and Dak and Zoe and Io. I loved it.
Yeah. And who is your wrestler of the week?
I don't fucking know yet. I really don't know. I'm like, can I give it to Johnny Gargano?
No, you may not. Well, I'll give mine, and this gives you a couple seconds to pick your people. So my match of the week is also going to be Ember and Shotzi versus Raquel, Dakota, and Io and Zoe. And my wrestler of the week is going to be Isla Dawn.
I thought you were going to give it to Isla Dawn.
Because
That's what I was thinking about.
I love all the progress she's made and all the stuff that we used to talk about. Oh man, she's missing this and missing that. She's doing now.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Cameron Grimes because.
But Cameron. So anyway, who are you picking?
Isla Dawn. Yeah, Isla Dawn was definitely I was just torn between her and one of the people in the 6-way match, but I couldn't decide who.
Well, that's the thing. The 6-way match, everyone was so great in it. No one stands out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's not saying anything bad about anyone in that. It's just saying everyone was great in it. There's no one person I could go, ooh, she's better than...
winners.
Yeah, there's no one person I could say she was better than the other 5.
Mm-hmm.
So Isla Dawn is the one who sticks out the most to me because it's just everything that we used to look at Isla Dawn and say, oh man, she calls herself a witch, but she's not doing this. And, and her wrestling has improved and her character has improved.
You're literally being possessed by a devil on Amelia McKenzie's face. It's great.
Yeah. So, everything that Isla Dawn should have done, Isla Dawn is doing. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, Chelsea, where can people find you?
You can find me at chelsea.lesage on Instagram. It's not dot, it's a period. I realize I say dot, and maybe not everyone gets that. But, yeah, that's me.
I think everyone knows a dot is a period.
Yeah, I hope so, but I don't know.
Anyway. People have been saying .com for how many decades now?
All right, touche. No, the 90s just happened. So,
so
yes, where can they find you, Charles?
You can find me on Instagram at charles.d.lincoln. And you can find us together at Dale Squared Productions. On
Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Yeah.
And you can also find us on
the Tweeter.
Yes.
Yes, at Beyond Z as in Zed, Belle, Belle, like booty,
Yes. And for those of you who listen to our other podcast, Cinematic Autopsy, anchor.fm/CL Squared Productions, we are going to try to have an episode up sometime next week.
Yes.
As I said, I've been going through some things. They're kind of, oh, wow, thunder. They're kind of personal, so I'm not really going to go into them on the air, but I do want to thank everyone for being understanding.
And if you're not, then fuck you.
We will be, we hope to get back to doing our show the normal way, fairly soon. But for the next few weeks, we're going to be NXT and pay-per-views. Yep. And hey, if AEW wants us to cover them, then they should sign with a streaming platform that we already have, and we'll watch that too.
Agreed.
But for now, because you know what, I would love to see Malachi Black, actually, to be honest.
Me too, 100%.
Yeah. But God, before we go, just think about that for a second. How much of a fucking drop in the ball was that? It's literally like just handing AEW a giant star. Yeah,
exactly. They fucked up so hard.
Yeah.
But it makes me happy.
Yeah, but it also makes me think, by the way, if you want to hear a really heartbreaking and kind of bittersweet interview, you should also check out Renee Paquette's Oral Sessions podcast, where she talks to Casey Lee and Jessica McKay, formerly known as the Iconics. Mm-hmm. And you just learn so much, and like the fact that they can't work right now because they don't have a work visa.
So sad. We're praying for you. We're thinking about you. It's so sad.
Yeah. And Chelsea Green also posted today that as of next week, she's a free agent.
Yay.
So there you go. Who knows if they'll show up at the Impact pay-per-view.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So just want to thank all of you for listening.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And we will be back next week to cover more NXT and NXT UK. And so keep your foot in the gutter and your eyes on the glass.
Eyes on the glass. Not on the plexiglass, because then you'll be thrown through it.
No, and remember, that's right. We are very, very anti-defenestration on this.
Yes, that was the biggest word I've ever heard you use.
Yes, I've used many big words.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I say peripatia every fucking week. Jesus.
I know, it's true.
Yeah.
I know.
So, anyway, as the thunder roars, we want you to remember one thing, that thunder is a herald of the future. And the future
is B. T.
B.
Yes, all right, you spelled it out. Chelsea, you did it right.
Chelsea, you have to do it the right way. Here we go. Let's do it right. Here we go. Okay. On a 1 and a 2 and a B.
B.
T.
B. B. I did it.
All right, people. Until next time, this has been Belle. All right.
Toodaloo.
All right. Bye, people. Bye.
Bye.